Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Pisces sun signs, or if you have significant Pisces placements in your chart and are needing a masculine energy to work with or balance within yourself, then this reading is for you. So Pisces, before we get started with the cards, I was receiving the image of an albatross. So first of all, the song The Albatross by Taylor Swift might have a message in there for you. But it was coming in with like two messages. The first one being sort of like the saying, like having an albatross hung around your neck, which comes from this story about like somebody feeling sort of guilt or shame for having done something. So but it to me is feeling kind of like Pisces, there may be sort of like, perhaps you made a choice that was for yourself, is kind of how it's coming through. Like you made a choice for your happiness or for your future, is how it's coming through. And for some reason, it's kind of feeling like there's guilt or shame associated with that, because it's like maybe there's somebody who like, that's the thing though, I feel like it's not even like the albatross is yours, is how it's feeling. It feels like it was somebody else is trying to put an albatross on your neck, is how it's coming through. So it could be that they're trying to put some sort of emotional burden on you that does not belong to you. And so it's kind of like having to have like some strong boundaries about that. And if you are putting up a strong boundary, you've been firm about that, you're establishing that boundary and enforcing it, and this person is still not sort of like respecting that, then that's when the universe steps in. So that's just sort of how it's coming through. So we're going to leave that message there. On the brighter side, there is the albatross, even though it's associated with that sort of like a dead albatross can be sort of like guilt and shame. But if you're at sea, for example, or perhaps you've been at sea for a long time, metaphorically, an albatross can be a very positive sign of like good luck and that there's land ahead, is how it's coming through. So that's the message that we're going to go with today. I do feel though that there's some sort of like emotional burden that doesn't feel like yours, but feels like somebody else is trying to make you feel guilty for choosing to be happy or focusing on your future or doing something that is good for you, but not good for them, is how it's feeling. It is not your responsibility to carry somebody else's emotional burden for them. So we're going to just leave that message there. We're focusing on you, Pisces. I do feel that you have something to celebrate, is actually how it was coming through to me. Like something happy, something that you deserve, something that perhaps has to do with success or abundance in some way, or it's just perhaps like some form of like new stability in your life that is something that you've worked for and that you absolutely deserve. And it's like you should celebrate that, is how it was coming through. So we're gonna get some cards. The growth plans. That's exactly it. Like there's significant amount of growth, is how it's feeling to me. I feel like you're perhaps making choices for your long-term stability and happiness. All these like I'm drawn to the lights today in the in this card. Perhaps you've upgraded something in your life. You've upgraded something. It is. It feels very happy. I'm very happy for you, Pisces. Okay. Comfort, hard. Look at all these lights. It feels comforting. So it could have to do with like your home, or just like what brings you happiness, or like feeling comfortable within whatever area of this life, whatever area in this life, whatever area in your life this applies to. It does feel like planning for the future in whatever way that is. Making plans for the future. Okay, so you have 3 that popped out. So you have the Endurance Rock, Magic Alchemy, and then Water Creation. So interesting. So I actually feel that today you're not the water, even though this is you're a water sign. But the way that this popped out, I feel like this is somebody else or some other energy, because all of your cards are very earthy, right? Endurance Rock, you have worked a long time for this. I feel like you've been protecting something or working towards something, even perhaps saving for something. And I feel like you are creating this sort of magic energy. With perhaps water as an element. It could be somebody else who's assisting in that process, because I do sometimes see this as being like 2 hands coming together, or because it's coming through as like water, earth. A really like balanced sort of creation process is how it's feeling to me. You may also be like transmuting energies, because it could also be something where it's like if you've been working a long time for something with the earth energy, like that can become like really sort of tough, or like especially this one's sort of like perhaps solitary, perhaps and also protective, right? Like that. So that kind of energy is like perhaps you've been alone for a while, Pisces. There is coming through like this energy of isolation. And it's kind of like this one here is coming through as being sort of like water to help balance, because I feel like this energy, like it's alive, right? It's clearly alive. It's protected. It's growing. Something has just like grown or gone to the next level, but it still needs water, right? That's how it's coming through. Okay. Attraction, magnetism. Maybe you are fulfilling some sort of dream. Maybe you've got some sort of like something new to play with is kind of how it's coming through, because this does sort of look like a child who sort of like enamored with something is kind of how it's coming through. Enamored with something. I didn't pick the decks in advance just because I felt sort of like rushed to do this reading, not in a bad way, Pisces, because it kind of was like I tried to do your reading earlier and it was very emotional, and I feel like it, first of all, that's like it was sort of coming in with that guilt energy or the shame, or it doesn't have to be that. Those are just the words that came up in the Google search. Heavy emotions that I feel like you were letting go or releasing. It was also kind of coming through about like forgiving the past. So I don't know if that's forgiving, like, it doesn't, I'm not even going to elaborate on that. Forgiving the past, period. Okay. So let's get back to the message. Oh, okay. Cobra. That's interesting. This card talks about sort of like when you're ready to learn something, a teacher appears. So perhaps you are learning something new. That's that sort of magnetism energy. Feels positive though. Feels really positive. It feels really like, again, I feel like you've made a decision. You've like made a choice about choosing happiness is how that's coming through. And it's kind of like, here's the one who's going to show you what that means. I'm not saying that, like, I feel like it's like the next level in happiness is how it's coming through. Oh, the moth. Okay. So this card does talk about so it talks about thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. And I actually feel like that has to do with your past. It kind of feels like maybe there's something from the past that maybe is like sort of pulling on you. And maybe you're feeling swayed to go back in that direction for whatever reason. I would say don't look back. Do not look back. Of course, everyone has a choice in this matter, but to me, it's looking to me like this is perhaps almost like do you know what though? That might actually be energies that are being attracted to you as well. Energies from the past maybe that are attracted to you. Because I feel like your energy is this, right? Like the flame, this cobra energy. There may be energies of the past that are attracted to you is kind of how it's coming through. The frog. This is an energy of emotional healing because it's this, right? Like this endurance rock card was the card I was talking about like being very protective of something, perhaps of yourself, perhaps of your healing. But again, with this sort of like force field is sort of how I see this card. There's like a force field of protection around you. It's turning into this sort of frog water energy. because frogs breathe through their skin, right? They need water in order to breathe. So it's kind of coming through like that. Maybe there was a period of time where you had to be very protective of your energy or your healing. And perhaps had to, like... Anyways, I do feel that that if it was a barrier, it's like sort of, it's coming down is how it's coming through. And it's like you're freeing up yourself for some very significant, like, emotional... this doesn't feel like healing to me. This feels like the healing. Perhaps you were healing something in terms of, like, earth, whatever that means to you, but in focusing on earth, you were leaving out the water is kind of how it's coming through, and now it's time to bring back the water. Whatever that means to you. Perhaps, again, because you are a water sign, right? Maybe you were focused very much on, like, practical things, or, like, healing earth elements within yourself, maybe. Could be work related, could be money related, could be family related. But now it's like, I feel like you're being, that part is healed. Like, that tree is alive. Time to put it somewhere long term is kind of how it's coming through. So I feel like that's like the next sort of step for you is like, planting the tree. The raccoon. That's not you, is it? And the mouse. No, that's definitely not you. Well, this whole reading could be flipped, so keep that in mind. Here's an earth sign is how it's coming through, but they're in the shadows. I'm saying that just because of the backgrounds. I feel, and both of these are sort of like, it's coming through a bit timid for some reason. You're this fiery cobra is how it's coming through. Perhaps there is a level of, like, intimidation. Like, they're intimidated, maybe. Only take that if it resonates for you. But they are coming through as this watery energy. They have... They have water. Interesting, though, that they're coming out as two earth energies, though. The raccoon sometimes comes through as being sort of like remaining anonymous is how it's feeling. They like to remain anonymous. Or perhaps you have just piqued their curiosity is kind of how it's coming through, because the raccoon and the mouse, it's kind of like you've piqued their curiosity, but I don't know that they are necessarily coming forward yet is how that's coming through. We're gonna get more cards on that. Camel at the bottom of the deck. That is a card about endurance, right? And perseverance and, like, this is a fire card. Panther at the bottom of the deck. This is a fire card, but I see camel as being very earthy and very watery at the same time. So I feel like that's you. Maybe you were or perhaps even them. Okay, so it's coming through like this is another, whoever that is, who has a lot of water within them, whatever that means. And I feel like they've just made it out through a fiery environment, and it's kind of like they've made it out of a fiery environment, and perhaps is now like, I don't know. Maybe you are the teacher in this case with the cobra. Is this someone from your past? No. Maybe, I don't know. We'll get tarot on it. This one. Either way, there's someone around you who is perhaps watching from a distance, is how it's coming through. Perhaps you are aware of them, though. So it is kind of coming through like this. I feel like it's not an emotional burden that they want to put on you, is how it's coming through. Because this is the frog, right? It's not an emotional burden that they want to put on you. It's like they want to shower you with emotions, whatever that is, because they have a lot within them. I do feel, though, that there's something like, perhaps the way that they are sort of playing hide and seek is coming through as being like moth energy, right? Like, it's like, are they committed to this or not? I do feel that they are drawn to you. It's just kind of like they're still like Ace of Pentacles. Okay. You have a solid new beginning, is how it's coming through. In whatever aspect of your life this is. It's very tangible, whatever this Ace of Pentacles is for you. And the Sun. Ah, that's so positive. This is what I'm saying. It's like happiness. It's like you're focused on your happiness. Okay, again, you have your Three of Wands, the Sun again, and the Queen of Swords. So, okay, you have the Sun twice. The Three of Wands... Again, this one feels like it's like some sort of manifestation has come true for you, is how it's feeling. Like you've achieved something. If you haven't yet, it's like you will be soon. It's so positive. It's so happy. I feel like here with this Queen of Swords, again, you've been focused on this for a long time, is how it's feeling. This is perhaps a goal that you have been, it's like you were just focused on one thing, is how it's feeling to me. Perhaps it was a very like, you had to put a lot of like serious sort of mental energy towards this. So it's kind of like, this is like, it's almost like a vacation or like a hallelujah. Like that's like, it's done. We got there. We achieved this. And it's like there's this, because this card looks to me like, you know the tennis player Naomi Osaka, is that her name? There's this one video of her like in the middle of a match, right? In the middle of a tennis match, and a butterfly lands on her face. That's sort of what it's going through, like a period of intense focus. And suddenly there's a butterfly that lands on your face. That's sort of how it's coming through. So perhaps it is something to sort of break your focus. because because perhaps you've been focused for a really long time. It's like you don't have to be that focused anymore, maybe. Again, so it's kind of like this. You're focused on your happiness, but happiness doesn't require focus. Is how it's going through. You don't have to focus on your happiness. You are just happy. That's how it's feeling. So perhaps you don't have to try so hard, Pisces, to be happy. Just let yourself be happy. Interesting. Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, Three of Swords, and the Strength card. Perhaps this person is waiting because you're still holding a sword. You're still holding a sword. They don't want to get, they don't want to be stabbed metaphorically by your sword, is how it's going through. So they're just waiting for something, is how it's feeling. Perhaps they are going through some healing as well. With the Strength card. I feel like this is sort of a process where divine timing is a factor. Feels like you are still holding the sword, right? You're choosing happiness. You've chosen happiness. And the universe may be sort of like perhaps giving you signs, like things to just sort of like get you to put the sword down, is how it's feeling. Could be your focus, right? Like to like, I feel like you had to like use a lot of mental energy in order to push through something. And I feel like that's over now. Or will be soon. Again, there's someone waiting there's someone waiting on the sidelines, it feels like, until you put your sword down. This person has a lot of strength, but they don't show it, is kind of how it's coming through. Perhaps, so if this is somebody from your past, they may want to heal something with you, with the Three of Swords. I feel like they have gone through healing, and it could also be something where perhaps they want forgiveness. Ace of Pentacles, Three of Wands again. You've waited a long time for this, Pisces. You have Ace of Pentacles twice. This is okay, this is your energy. Ace of Pentacles twice. The Sun twice. Three of Wands twice. You've manifested your own happiness. You've waited a long time for this, and it's not waiting. That's the thing. It's not waiting. You worked a long time for this. You put in a lot of effort to do this. You endured or persevered through a significant challenge to get you to this point, and you have been so focused on it, is how it's coming through. You deserve this, is how it's coming through. You deserve it. Okay. What is this energy, though? It feels positive. It feels positive, and as I say that, 10 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords. Okay, it's coming through kind of like two ways. One, for some of you, maybe somebody from your past who's coming back where there was difficult ending, or there was pain, conflict, and perhaps they want to heal things. So that's for one of you, or some of you. For another, this may be somebody new who is seeing your happiness and wanting to learn from you, is kind of how it's coming through. Like they want to, well, maybe not learn from you, but it's kind of like they want to, perhaps they're just curious about you, right? They're like, how did Pisces manifest this? How did Pisces get double Sun, double Ace of Pentacles? How did they manifest this specifically with the 3 of Wands? So maybe they are wanting to learn something from you. With the Magic, perhaps they are they want to learn how to alchemize something within themselves, like transform something within themselves, whatever this difficult energy is. Again, it's coming through with the reminder. Every person is responsible for dealing with their own emotional energy. So it's like if they're trying to put that on you, boundary. That's not your job. That's not your responsibility. However, you can help if that's your choice. In a way that's not going to sort of like push a boundary, right? What is it that this person wants? High Priestess. They want to know what you know. Three of Cups. Ten of Pentacles. This person may be going through some sort of ending with the... I feel like they have already. I actually feel like they have already. They're cleaning something up is how it's coming through. And it's kind of like, again, with the camel, I feel like they've been moving through the desert in whatever way that is. What is it they want from Pisces? Eight of Swords. Wheel of Fortune again, and Knight of Cups. Okay, so they have Wheel of Fortune twice. I feel like they're stuck in something. They feel stuck in something. With this energy, right? The raccoon and the mouse. Because these are both sort of like, again, feeling like perhaps timid. Perhaps there's like something like the... It feels like they are stuck. It just feels like they're stuck. I don't know in what way. Ace of Swords at the bottom. Seven of Swords. Okay. That's so interesting. Six of Swords, Ace of Swords. So 7 breaks down into 6 and 1, right? And you have the 8 of Swords, which is so interesting. I feel like they can't see how to move on. I feel like they're not seeing how to stop sabotaging themselves. That seems too harsh. I feel like it's more so like they don't know what's keeping them from being happy, is how it's coming through. They can't see perhaps something where it's like they don't know what is keeping them from being happy. Perhaps it's guilt about something. Maybe they feel guilty. Yeah. 9 of Swords, 2 of Wands. The 9 of Swords, they're fighting some sort of demon within themselves, right? Like they're battling some sort of inner demon, it feels like. I have no idea what that is, but it's a lot of swords. Two of Wands. I feel like that is coming through as planning. I feel like maybe they have a plan that they want to share with you, but they don't know how. It's kind of like perhaps they need to release an emotional burden. Maybe this is you, Pisces. This might be flipped, right? Keep that in mind. Because it is spending a lot of time on this. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I don't know. Ace of Wands. Swords energy. How to balance that is through sometimes writing things out can help. Sometimes doing things that are earthy can help, but I feel like that's not the issue. I actually feel like they need fire. Inspiration. They need inspiration. Perhaps you are inspiring them. And it's kind of like maybe this is just how it is for a little bit. Is kind of how that's feeling to me. I don't see an immediate solution to this energy. It's kind of like it's a 9 of Swords energy that has to be worked through. And that means facing an inner demon. Whatever it is that they're afraid of, that needs to be worked through. So I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.